Greetings all, this is Dave and Fuchsia. Welcome back to another episode in this Let's Learn series. So last time I basically had completed the old maze, and my character, he hit level 15 and now he's at the start of the old forest. So I'm gonna basically just sort of tell you a little bit about what to expect here. So old forest is kind of a very different area than like the old maze or the San Burrows tunnels. You don't really have a whole lot of like treasure chest type of goodies that you can find in this area, but as you can see, from the start of our last episode, we got this escort here. So escorts will pop up in this dungeon, and that's what sort of separates like the old forest from, say, the San Juan tunnels or the old maze. The other dungeon that'll follow this, Daikara, it'll also be very much like this. It'll have less treasure, more escorts, sort of as like what we're going to be getting from here. Alright, so we're going to actually rest up because I apparently have my town on cooldown there. And that's no good. We actually have a cursed over here, and he's actually using something called Beckon. So Beckon is this ability that the cursed class has. The target is beckoned to the rogue, and basically this guy here. And I'm basically going to move toward him unwillingly until I basically get in melee range of him. And I also have reduced spell power and mind power. It's basically an anti-spellcaster ranged ability. It's not too deadly defensively, but since I've got this guy sort of in my way, it's going to be a bit of an issue. I think what we're going to do, we're going to wait a turn. And I didn't step out. That's nice. We'll wait another turn, and you'll see that I struggle against the beacon, so you have a chance to save against it, and sometimes you just won't move. Oh, you can't move through guys as well, so if there's a guy like here in the way, I won't move through him. So that's good. We're just going to lead this bear, and as you see, there we actually moved, so I struggled against the beacon, but I didn't, manage to get, save against it that time. We're going to do a sweep against these guys. Luckily, these guys are sort of in the way here, so he's not going to be moving up or down or anywhere else. Where's your portal, by the way? It's far away to the east. Okay, good to know. Alright, at this point, this guy's close enough that I can use Shadow Step on him, and all these guys are going for me. We're basically going to activate this. We're going to rush the snake. He tried to use Dominate on me, which is another cursed ability that would pin me, but luckily it didn't occur. I'm going to basically kill that warg so he's not in the way. We're going to use Dirty Fighting, and I failed to stun this guy, but that's the beauty of Dirty Fighting, because if you fail to stun him, you get free attack, and that as a result gives me a chance to use something else like a Dirty Dual Strike here to possibly stun him. And that did stun him, so he's down. At least on that front. We're going to just try and chase after him. And this is where Beckon sort of hurts, because this guy's, he's beckoned me toward him, so he actually has me moving toward him unwillingly. Okay, we're going to just wait here for a little bit. This guy doesn't seem to be moving anywhere, so it's going to rest up. While guys just sort of apparently come to me. And by the way, he's, as you see, he's trying to, get me out if I'm an ice block. It's one of the things about summons. They like to hit ice blocks or friends or anyone else. Got Warbear. Okay, that's all done. We're just going to keep pushing forward. Okay, he stopped, so he's trying to move up this way, I guess. There's his portal right there. I see a couple predefined vaults. Those be interesting to look into. Get going. Alright, so Choco the Lost Warrior. Thank you, my friend. I do not think I would survive without you. Please let me reward you. These are the warrior rewards. They will always be the same every single time. As you'll note from last time, I guess I already had a warrior. We basically have the ability to improve vitality again. So if I did that, that would let me get extra life regen, extra poison resistance. This is a very nice skill. I also have the ability to get unflinching resolve, which basically lets me have a chance to recover from stun effects. That can be useful. I think what we're going to keep doing, though, we're going to keep improving vitality. Just because I should be worried about these, but you can't be guaranteed you're always going to find these guys. It's nice that I found a second one, but we'll just boost up vitality because that'll help, you know, even in a couple more points. The diminishing returns will still be beneficial over just like trying to hope for a bit more from me possibly getting, you know, what I need from another warrior for unflinching resolve. Okay, we got rogues coming out here. They can use switch place. Luckily they haven't yet. So this is a very easy vault, so to speak. There's just a bunch of rogue type enemies right there. You come over here, there's a bit of gold. You can use a pickaxe and you can dig through this wall to get a couple gems. If you come over here, another rogue. And there's a bandit there as well. And that's basically, you know, there's usually a rune or some type of inscription right there. And that's basically that little vault there. It wasn't, you know, as you see anything really definable about it. Then there's over this one here. This one looks like the Forest White one. So this is a level 31 Forest White. You'll basically find this vault. There's like a high level Forest White in there. This guy shouldn't be underestimated. He's not too strong technically because he can't really hurt you that badly. But he does have access to Flame Shock here and Mind Disruption. Mind Disruption will try to confuse the target for, as you can see, 6 turns. And Flame Shock has the ability to do the same thing that the Slavers were doing in the Slavers compound that basically stuns me. So he's an issue, so to speak. We're going to let him come out. I'm going to Dirty Fight him first. And that stunned him. We're just going to hit him with Dual Strike afterwards. And he'll be basically shut down from his abilities. And we'll just flurry him. Almost kill him. He's gone. I'll know I probably should stand in the corners there just to do that a little bit better. Kill that warg. Just going to do a quick check to the stuff we sort of found here. Confusion immunity, light, sensing. At this point, this was a good ring, you know, a while back. I think I'm sort of keeping it only for the cunning and magic stats. This because, you know, I can wield 2 rings. I'm not really into like blindness immunity for a lot of my characters after, like, say, the old forest type of point. Once you get through the old maze and the Samurai Burrower's tunnels, you really should be more worried about confusion or stun or other more detrimental status effects that you may be affected with. All blindness really does to you is it just blinds you, makes it very hard to hit stuff if you try and hit them. You can just run away from stuff if you know where you need to go, usually. And that's usually just fine. Now, this is an interesting pair of gauntlets. These give me the ability to remove magical effects. That's actually worth possibly taking around, so we're going to maybe hold on to that. We also found this. This gives a little bit of strength, dexterity, con. That's actually kind of interesting, but we got Gargoyle's Helm, which, you know, is superiorly overpowering it, so to speak, so won't worry about it. Here's a Psychoport Torque, so to speak. It basically lets you randomly teleport. This is actually a very interesting item. This is the only type of item that you can use to sort of teleport around if you're an anti-magic character or if you aren't using, like, you know, teleport or stuff like that. I don't really need it because I've got my own arcane type abilities, but it's an interesting sort of ability that I could possibly make use of if I want to. I think we prefer like this like pickaxe here though for other stuff though, so to speak. I think we'll put on Tooth of the Mouth a little bit longer. We're just gonna sell stuff, I think. I don't think any of that's going to be useful to me. I'm just going to move this all to inventory. Big heavy iron armor in there. By the way, there's polar bears in the game. Yeah, they're not really anything special. I just want to point out they're polar bears. Here's a piece of lore that's specific to this instance, the Old Forest. It basically follows the notes of Darwood Oakton, the explorer. So, I'll note, by the way, as you can see from the enemies, that most of them are basically animal-type enemies. You have, like, snakes, wolves, bears, insects. Nothing a whole lot, really, to write home about, so to speak. Do I have a helmet? Yes, I do. So, we'll probably be selling this, this one right here. Now, I'm actually going to sell these ones just because I know I'm going to, run out of room, so to speak, if I keep picking up stuff. And we didn't get an escort this time, but oh well. Kill that fire ant. I'll note that most of these ants, by the way, they're not really dangerous. Some of them can be kind of annoying, but they do really low damage. Their best sort of, shall I say, abilities is sort of to annoy you more than anything else. Here's some Nationalist Gloves. These give me +2 strength. They give me resistance to nature. Changes to damage to nature. I think we actually want to put these on just because they are a little better than the old ones. So do that. Kill that Hammerhorn. As you can see from the sound effects, there's, nice little foresty sounds going on. Bit more of lore from Darwood Oakton. Found a healing infusion there. As you can probably, just tell, I'm not really even trying, so to speak, in this dungeon. This is considered to be one of the easier dungeons, but I sort of avoided it just for a simple reason that there's actually a reason I sort of avoid it, just because you'll see what happens when I get to the end of this dungeon. And it'll be kind of interesting when I get to it. Now, I charged this guy and I dazed him. This guy, by the way, is a Mind Slayer. You can tell, like, from his initial aura there. He also has, as you can see, these sustain towns like Connect Aura, Connect Shield. They're basically Teleconnect type of class, so to speak, I guess. And nothing too special early on, especially on a plant like here. But they are kind of durable, and they can be extremely annoying. And yeah, there's plants in this instance. Alright, we got to a very special area in the Old Forest I want to talk about. So you'll notice that there's a lot of snakes up here. This up here is an example of, I guess, of like sort of a predefined vault. But it's not like the other vaults where, you enter them. This is like a monster zoo type of vault. If like you take the Dungeons of Dredmor term, it basically has a bunch of enemies in it that you're correlated toward, like, what, I guess, spawns in a dungeon, or they're correlated toward a specific type of monster. In this case, snakes. And this room is up here is going to be a ton of snakes, so to speak. So I'll just run up here, killing all these guys. And yeah, we're just going to bump attack like mad. Whee! Because they're not really tough. Kill 1,000 creatures. And that's basically what this sort of is. This is just a monster room. There's lots of snakes. That's pretty much the area right there. I'll note, by the way, these, like, those type of monster rooms, like with snakes there, they can be a little bit more of an issue later on in the game. They even exist in the last dungeon that you'll basically run through, called High Peak. And some of the stuff that can spawn there can be extremely disheartening, so to speak, to fight. And we found our vault, and as you can tell from the picture here, is the Forest White again. Hi, Mr. Forest White. Move here, move here. Wait for him to come up. Dirty fighting. He's stunned. Him with that one again. All done. And we actually found ourselves another thing here, a war axe. Too bad that's I'm finding lots of random artifacts, so to speak, on this character. You usually don't find orange items like this left and right. It's too bad I just haven't found one that's a decent one for me. And that dagger sadly is not decent. That's not a bad rune though, this Biting Gale one right here. I actually could maybe hold on to that for use. Sell that. We're going to hold on to this for sure. Hold on to these boots, hold on to these ones. I think at this point we're going to start, you know, thinking about just going back to the store to sell. I'll note, by the way, that you never want to drop stuff in a dungeon. There's a high chance you'll lose it if you do so, so if I drop any of this stuff, I can almost guarantee it's going to be left behind. Now, that item is picked up, this Mind Move and Woolen Robe of Lightning. You'll notice that it has nice big lightning resistance on it. So that's actually catching my eye, because we don't have lightning resistance on our current armor, and then, you know, as I said, I'm saving up lightning resistance for use later against a certain boss. So we're actually going to tag this as lightning resistance. So I'll be probably kept just for that reason. And the other stuff in here, so I think about maybe keeping these, I guess. These lovely Iron Gauntlets of Dispersion. Yeah, we're going to possibly keep this as well. We'll tag this as Maj'Eyal Refractory Removal. By the way, there's also there's some, you know, some items like this that gives you increasing movement speed. I'm already getting, you know, a big one from this one right here. I might be tempted to put that on, but I've actually got a fairly nice boost here, so to speak, with the disengage feature and all the other stuff it gives. So this would usually be what the type of boot I'll be putting on early on, but I don't think we'll specifically making use of it. And this is actually worth noting because it actually has light resistance and light radius and all that. I might want to keep it. I think I will, so tag this lightning resistance. Yeah, we're going to be keeping lots and lots of items for this boss I'm so worried about. And I'm worried about him because he is a considerable threat, so to speak. Alright, well, we're just basically going to actually explore the rest of the level. So there we go, we're done this level. We're going to basically exit, we'll sell this stuff. Exit to the old map, maybe we'll go back to Durf. And conveniently, since I killed the lightning elementals from the last episode, I'll be able to enter here and sell stuff. This is, you know, one of the reasons I cleared it out so easy, so I have access to selling stuff here. So we'll go over here, and we'll go to Sword Shop that we've been selling everything else to. We're not going to keep basically any of this stuff, so just sell it all. That lovely storm cloud, you know. Not keeping this, not keeping this. Not keeping this. Keeping that, keeping that. Not keeping that. Or that. Or even that. Yes, I realize those are +2 strength gloves. We already found a better one. Replace it. Keeping this for Pacific Instance. Keeping that, I guess, for the stats. We don't really need this. Or this. And that will be useful later on if I don't find anything better. Now, as you can see on like my sort of character at this point, I'm sort of keeping a lot of items, you know, this for later on. This is something that you may want to do on your own character. The thing about this game, it helps you sort of prepare for stuff. And I'm basically right now just preparing for this, like, you know, this fight that's going to be coming up. And I know my occurrence up here is like just steadily rising constantly due to all this stuff I'm start picking up. I'm just going to put this on, I guess, for the third and fourth instances. I will say, however, that at the end of the Old Forest, I'm probably just going to start transmogrifying stuff. And you'll see the reason for why I'm going to be doing that. Not just because of the fact that I'm getting overloaded with items at this point in my inventory, but also just because of what is sort of going to be at the end of the Old Forest. You notice that unlike the last two episodes, like, you know, with like the old maze or the Samurai tunnels, I'm going through this like at rocketing speed. And I'll also note that I'm basically just not caring about the stuff I'm fighting unless they're rares. There's a Necromancer's Poem. And we have ourselves another one of these Monster Zoo type instances. Here's an ant one. I'll let you guess what you know, is in store for us. We're basically going to be fighting ants. These are all critter rank enemies, so nothing is probably going to be threatening of us to really care about. Just because they aren't frightening doesn't mean they can't damage me, though. So they're all dead. Here's a enemy you don't usually see too much in this game, but it's called the Trent. A very strong, near-sentient tree, which has become hostile to all other living things. The Trent. And we found ourselves this guy here. Now this guy has icy skin, but all white wolves have icy skin, so it's kind of not going to tell me if it's a warmic or not. This guy, he's got Death Dance, he's got Fearless Cleave, so he's obviously got two-handed assault talents. He's also got Shattering Blow, Stunning Blow, Unflinching Resolve, War Shout. He's got conditioning for a tree. He has War Shout, and War Shout will tell me that he isn't definitely a Berserker type enemy. So this guy is a Berserker. And he's not close enough yet, but whatever. We're just going to maybe... Let's do Volcano right there. And we'll zap this here. It's funny how this is like sort of a projectile type of thing. We're actually doing quite a bit of damage against this wolf. I'm not even trying. And he did disengage there. And the volcano dissipates, but he's almost dead. So this Rana I've basically found is like so literally so powerful right now that it's just, you know, clobbering through stuff. Part of the reason I was using the two-footed pickaxe there is just because I don't really need it, just for this really easy instance, or I don't really need it for any of the instances, so to speak. There's no doubt that I found a really nice Rana art right there. Nice little summoning tree. Now, here's another one of these like type of elemental type of enemies. There's a Zorn, this huge creature of the element Earth, able to merge with his element. It has 4 huge arms protruding from its enormous torso. So these guys, I guess they are Earth type of elementals in this game. Those mean they're nothing really too special. Okay, what's going on down here? Okay, we have ourselves another monster zoo. And there's a plant blocking it. And I just got pinned by the plant. Okay, we're no longer pinned. We're just going to, let's see here. I'm actually going to drop this as soon as I can behind that plant. So we're going to do this. And I'm actually going to do that as well in a moment. Apparently I can't drop it past this guy, so whatever, just do that there. And I got myself blinded there. So yeah, it can still happen. I'll note, by the way, who blinded me there. Just so you know, even though these guys are like animals, these wargs, or even those ants back there, or you know, just these animals in general, some of them can have infusions to use, and this guy actually has, as you see, I saw a sun infusion to make use of in blinding me. And let's maybe drop. It's kind of, you know, crap because I can't really hit these guys well, but let's do that there. Yeah, I don't even need to really use it on these guys because they're pretty easy anyways. There's still more guys in here, as you can see. Now, I'll note that one thing about vaults, even though like there's these guys over here, there's actually something very special about vaults. Monsters in vaults don't actually move until you see them. So until I actually moved inside of these guys, they didn't actually see me, and as a result, they didn't actually react to me. It also goes sort of both ways in that sort of example, because if you attack a guy in a vault, they don't even take damage. So you can't do anything to guys in a vault until you like run across them. And nice, we leveled up, so we can make use of that. The nice thing about the old forest is because of all these monster spawns like that, it's very easy to get level ups. We're going to basically put up another one and do weapon defense, I guess. And then once we get to talent level 5, we'll have the ability to parry melee attacks with our offhand weapon. So that'll be kind of cool to have. Get access to that immediately. Dagger Mastery will be raised up one more, and maybe we'll start raising up our combat accuracy next, and then we'll actually start looking into our racial talents over here, which will be very, very interesting stuff. I'll note that Florins have very powerful racials. I haven't really been investing too heavily in them because I like to get my sort of important talents like Dagger Mastery here for daggers, getting that 1 on armor training, getting phase door up was actually kind of important too, just because that's a escape I'll be able to make use of. I'll note, by the way, that I've taken off enough of my cunning equipment that we've actually dropped down, that we can't invest in piercing sight as much anymore, but it's fine. I'm still just investing in dexterity for now. And yep, here's where we basically get to soft cap again. So you notice I still have a stat point left. So the soft cap that you basically have in these stats prevents you from investing too far into a stat. You have to eventually drop your stats elsewhere. In this case, I'm just dropping in magic because I'm going to start increasing my magic for stuff like blur sight here and other stuff. Okay, now this is actually something I want to make a note of. This is actually another vault. It's kind of special though in the case that this guy here, the Skeleton Mage, he's actually outside of the vault. And if you recall from the last time I basically found a Skeleton Mage that was not in, like, say, Core Pool, it was in the Skintoning Caves. These guys are very, very powerful when they're basically found outside of their element. This guy in particular, because he's a vault monster, he's very, very strong. He's level 24. He's 8 levels above me. And I have to sort of take that into account. We're basically going to use Shielding Rune right here, and we're actually just going to back off, use the Regeneration Infusion. We're just going to wait for this guy to sort of pop up, but we're going to actually do this. And he actually popped up really quick, but whatever. We're just going to Dirty Fight him, and we stun him. We're just going to finish him off a Flurry. And you'll note that he's basically guarding a bunch of ruins, so that's kind of cool. One of these ruins that he actually dropped was a Teleportation Ruin. I like to check these sometimes, but this one in particular is not that good, so we're not going to worry about it. And that gives Khan and Will, but whatever. I'll note that a lot of the stuff that I'm sort of finding in the third instance is not that great. We're just going to sell all that when I basically exit the instance. Okay, we got another vault. This vault is, I think, one we already saw. This is going to be the Summoning Vault. I think we've seen this one already. So yeah, there's basically going to be a bunch of, 4 trees, and they're basically going to be summoning these guys. There's this high-level Grizzly Bear. I'm going to just drop this here. And because I have this here, we're actually going to make use of it to sort of start burning these guys. So as you can see, we're burying these trees. Now, I'll note, by the way, as you saw from, like, this is like one of the examples where these, like, type of involved thing is sort of like playing against me. I didn't see this guy initially when I placed the firewall, so this guy, as you saw, took a little bit of extra damage. This guy's got way more health, and that's just because he didn't take any damage because I didn't see him. He didn't get activated until I sort of moved on him. So we're just gonna slowly kill these guys. I could actually shadow step into here, but it's kind of dangerous to possibly do that, so we're not going to do that. Let's do that there. And I'll note, by the way, there's a second grizzly bear here. This guy was obviously summoned, and actually, as you see from temporal status effects, summoning destabilization 497. Okay, we're going to maybe drop another one of these. I think maybe right. Would like to get that bear, but I guess that's not going to happen. So we'll just make do, maybe with like, yeah, like right there. Kill this bear. This rod is actually making it very easy for this vault because all I have to do is just place the firewalls and let the stuff burn to death. This is one of the examples where, this can be very powerful as one. Firewall in general, you wouldn't expect it to be very powerful, this wall of flames, but because the guys weren't able to move sort of toward me or anything like that, and I wasn't really moving around myself, it made it a whole lot, stronger. Alright, there's nothing. This gives 6%. This only gives 6%. Alright, so that's just nothing spectacular to really worry about. Note that this type of vault, by the way, always has these traps, like the sliding rocks and poison vines. We'll sell this stuff normally, and we got, oh boy, so yes, we have an escort, but I see this little text box below him. Lead on, I'll protect you. As you walk into the area, you notice a huge thunderstorm over your head. Beware. This is what I consider to be one of the most deadly type of things that could possibly happen to your character. This is Old Forest 4, which is where the boss is going to spawn. We got an escort, and there's a thunderstorm. So there's actually so much working against me possibly getting this guy to where he needs to go that this is going to be kind of difficult, but we'll try it anyways. We're going to basically try and take this guy to wherever his portal is going to be, and hopefully he won't die getting there. I expect this guy's going to die, by the way, just horribly. And because of the fact there's a thunderstorm above us, we're actually not going to move too far ahead of this guy, even though I know his position, his path is going to take. And here's why thunderstorms are dangerous. Much like in Durf, you're basically going to have these air elementals to fight, and these guys are not going to be too friendly to fight. And luckily, his pearl's right there. I'm actually going to possibly consider doing this, even though it's not something where I specifically want to do it, but we're going to basically put on like this helmet here. I'm going to put on this here, and I guess we won't put on the boots just for this instance, but more or less, I'm putting on those stuff just because of this instance being, a little bit more dangerous for lightning. So we're going to have a little bit of lightning resistance just to deal with this instance. Now, luckily, this guy, his pearl's right there, so I got him here. And oddly enough, he's another warrior. I don't know why I keep getting warriors, but we'll keep training up our improved vitality here. I'll note, by the way, that at this point, you recover faster from your poison, diseases, and wounds. Reduce the duration of all such effects by 33%. So poisons and diseases are now like a third of, less effective than they once were before. I also get a little more healing when I'm below HP and more healing modifier for stuff I'm healing with. Something to note, by the way, that I don't think I've really covered with talents just yet, but I'll note that you see, like, with these categories, there's like this times 1.0 or 1.10 or 1.2 or 1.3. These like little like modifiers on top of the categories sort of dictate what type of talent level your stuff is going to be. So on like something that's naturally 1, you'll notice that you'll see one of the things in here. It says effective talent level 1.22, or if I go down to spell conveyance, phase door, effective talent 5.0. So it basically, as you can see, it doesn't have any effect with like times 1. If you have like a times 1.0 though, this is effective talent 1.1, or it's basically in multiples of like 1.1, 2.2, 3.3, 4.4, 5.5. So we're actually getting sort of an extra benefit because this is a little bit higher. It also works both ways though. If I go to my talents page, I'm actually go and try and find Vitality, which is I think a passive talent. Yeah. So Vitality, its effective talent level is 2.4. I've got 3 talent points in here invested from, you know, those warriors giving me the bonus every single time. But the effective talent level is only 2.4. So it's worth knowing that with the talents from the escorts, you're basically only going to be getting 0.8 talent level for each, like, you know, little reward you get from them. So that's a little bit less effective than, you know, it would be elsewise. It's still effective, you know, effective to have it, but it's not as effective as it might be on a character who properly trains conditioning category. Now, before we sort of engage, these guys up here is actually a forest blight. They'll occur normally here, by the way. I'm just going to go down here. I'm just going to move over here. I'll note that there's actually a way to awake to a Lake of Nur. This is the special thing I'm sort of talking about with the Old Forest. The Lake of Nur is actually a dungeon within a dungeon, and this is, like, guess one of 2 instances where it'll occur. This one occurs always at the end of Old Forest 4, and it basically leads to a very special dungeon that we'll visit. I guess at probably in the next episode as well do. Now, note, by the way, this guy used Mind Disruption on me. As you can see, it confused me. Wasn't a really big deal. He was too far away to really bother me, but it could have been a big deal. And you'll notice I rested there, but this guy just sort of spawned out of nowhere. So that can happen with these lightning elementals in this one. They'll just spawn without warning. On the bright side, you might actually see the elemental that I wanted to show you off. And I'll note that the boss is over here. As you can see, he's a Trent. This ancient gray willow tree, ruler of the old forest. He despises trespassers in his territory. This guy's kind of special. We'll actually go into inspecting him. So this guy is he has like Ice Storm and Freeze and Block, and he's kind of an interesting type of boss. He's got like one very small weakness. He's not very good unless he gets really close to you. So ranged characters can just kill this guy instantly, like he's no one's business. And as you can see, he also has a negative fire modification on him, so that's going to hurt him as much as next thing. Now, I'll note that he froze me there, so this is like his only real way of being threatening at you at range. It's not going to be too much of an issue. We're just going to heal out of it a little bit. And I don't think this even took any damage because I put the shield on there, but whatever. We're just going to kill these guys. I'll note that he's like slowly advancing. What we're going to actually do, we're actually going to maybe place, if possible... Okay, I can't really place it so I can get him, and only him. You know what we're actually going to do? We're actually going to drop maybe this right here, and that'll hopefully fire at him. I'm actually going to maybe drop this right... Well, that's perfect, I think, right... No, it's not perfect right there. I'm actually going to do this instead. We're going to use Shadow Step. This is sort of jump over the wolf and get to this guy. He is dangerous in melee, but I'm a melee-only character, so it doesn't really matter. The purpose for getting in melee as fast as possible, so to speak, here is just that I want to drop this here, just so, you know, we can sim in the flame and, you know, force him to actually take damage. Now, notice, by the way, he has this very special ability going on called Block. Blocking is a defensive ability, and how it works is if you attack a guy who's blocking and he absorbs your damage, he will get the ability to do a counter attack debuff on you, and it's a very, very hurtful thing to be hit by. I'm not going to let him do it, so we're actually going to move away. And I'll note that I still got a counter on him. This firewall I'm actually hitting with is actually damaging him. So if I actually do this, so David's Lesser Volcano hits large snake, blah blah. The fire effect from my wall of flame actually hit Rockroot there and actually basically hit that block. So as a result, I actually got the counter strike debuff on me as a result. I'll probably get this again, sadly. So, you know, it's going to be a bit of an issue, but whatever. We're just going to hit this guy here. I had another counter pop off me there, but luckily, you know, this guy, he's no longer blocking. Now, the thing that's happening here, when you get the counter debuff, what happens is the next enemy that hits you basically turns it off. And I just have weak enemies around me, so it wasn't really a big deal. If he hit me though with that counter buff, it would hurt a lot. So it's kind of good that it didn't happen, but he could have hurt a lot. And he hit us with freeze yet again. Now I'll note that it's kind of bad if you get frozen like this constantly from him, because it's, you know, as you can see, I'm sort of locked and I'm gonna move. So here's why he's sort of dangerous and melee. He has this ability to use this like sort of like ice storm, and it basically freezes you on contact if you're inside of it. It also damages you a little bit with cold. At this point, we're actually going to just move a little bit away from him. And we actually jumped all the way up here. So yeah, we worked randomly. It happens. In this case, we still got out of range of him, but we ended up way in a different area than I suspect I would be. Now, I got despaired by something. I don't like being despaired or fed upon. This means there's a doomed around. I don't know where he is. And that's not actually a good thing to be next to when I'm actually, you know, out of talents and stuff like that. We're actually going to teleport somewhere. And we actually teleport back here. This is a good place to be. So I'm going to be in agony for a little bit. Apparently this guy decided to spawn right now. We're just going to rush him and kill him. We're going to heal up a little bit. Alright, good. So we're back to full health. I have all my stuff back, you know, I'm ready to go. Let's go out and find these guys a little bit more. Kill him. Alright, so this is the dangerous lightning elemental I was really worried about. This is the ultimate Golgoroth. This guy is really, really dangerous. He has an ability. It's basically this one right here. It's called Hurricane. Each time one of your lightning spells dazes a target, it has a 45% chance of creating a chain reaction that summons a mighty hurricane that lasts for 10 turns around a target within a radius of 3. Each turn, the afflicted creature and all creatures around it will take lightning damage, and the damage will increase with your spell power. If this gets put on me, it really just hurt. We don't want to be letting this guy do any of that on me, so we want to flurry this guy immediately and kill him. But that guy is like really dangerous. I'm glad I didn't find him in Durf, but that's just a good, like, this example where you can pick him off, and it's good that I picked him off quickly. I'll note that ability, talent, Hurricane, that's actually why I'm fearing this lightning boss, because he actually has that ability. And when you see it, it's going to really hurt. Or it's going to hurt me more so than you, because you're just going to watch it, but it's going to hurt. Alright, we're going to basically use one of these, I think. I'll note that my HP basically regens so slowly that it's usually better to use a healing regeneration infusion, just so that this goes off cooldown 12 turns faster, and I don't have to wait like more than 12 turns to heal up, because my healing, you know, regeneration is slow. Alright, I've got another one of these guys somewhere. Okay, where is he? There's a wolf around me that's basically making me go crunch. Use teleport again. We're just going to heal up again. Make sure everything's off cooldown. Where is this wolf? I'm actually tempted to do this just because I'll get more light radius. We're going to put on these boosts I found because they have increased light radius. They'll let me see stuff around me a little bit better. So as you can see, it lighten up a little bit of the area here. Here's this shadow. As you can see, this shadow casts phase door there. Cast phase door again. I'm just going to drop this right here. Okay, where is there he is. So here's the wolf. This guy's a doomed enemy. He's casting all these damn shadows over the place. He's doing lots of damage to me. He's just being a prick. I need to deal with him as fast as possible, and he's in the worst possible area I could find him because he's right next to the boss. But I have to kill this guy as quickly as possible. He's too dangerous to sort of leave alone. So kill him. Raphu's root just, you know, stun me there. We're just going to teleport somewhere. Sort of wait for this out. I'll note that because my stamina's gone there, I need to regenerate anyway, so that had to happen first. Now, because this guy's alone, he no longer has that doomed enemy sort of around to sort of help him out. We're going to try and deal with him. Drop this here. And screw it, we're just going to rush him. So we dazed him there. I'm going to use Dirty Fighting. That actually stunned him. That's cool. We're going to actually hit him with Dirty Fighting. That stunned him some more. We'll drop this on him. And he's dead. He's actually not that hard of a boss. You just have to basically approach him at the right point, and when there's no one around that's going to possibly screw you over, like a Doom enemy. We just found the most awesome belt to find pretty much in the early game. This is the Girdle of Calm Waters. It basically gives the ability to give you an increased healing mod. That doesn't really sound, that spectacular. Maybe heal a bit more, but that's actually a really big thing to actually have. And actually, it also gives you blight resistance, cold resistance, and nature. And blight and nature resistances are actually really good to have. So all around, it's a very nice belt. We're actually going to put that on. I also found this one over here, this Regeneration Fusion of the Warrior. It's not that great, so we probably won't keep it, but worth showing off, I guess. So at this point, I'm slowly running out of space for carrying up additional stuff. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to maybe jettison this item here. Remember this one. So I can carry around this shield. I don't know if this is a greater one, by the way. Greater Elemental. We're just going to clear off the rest of this area now. I'll note, by the way, that the wolves are sort of rushing me here now. Rushes, their ability to sort of get close to you. And there's another shadow here. There's actually more than one doomed enemy apparently on this map. No, it's not a doomed enemy. It's an umbral horror. So here's our first example of what can I say about this? Sometimes in Old Forest you'll find enemies that don't seem to belong at all. And in this case we found the umbral horror. This guy is an elite horror monster. He basically has the ability to call shadows. You might think that these the Old Forest, they'll have lots of easy enemies, but the thing about the Old Forest is that generally has a lot of hard enemies in it. There's one really strong enemy in it, and here's an example of one. This is the Umbral Horror. I don't think we'll have too much trouble with him because he's just a guy who summons stuff like shadows, as you can see. We'll just kick out his shadows, and he won't have those around to sort of help himself out with. And let's basically find him. Now, before he sort of does it, he does have the ability to use like Phase Door, which basically lets him teleport somewhere. And as you can see, he also was able to make this sort of darkness type ability here, which basically blocks my line of sight. But we're just going to use Dirty Fighting. We'll stun him. We'll stun him a little bit more, and he used Fade. So Fade's another ability he sort of has there. We'll kill his shadow. I'll actually note there, by the way, against this shadow. Shadows are kind of an interesting enemy. They get stronger and stronger the more you basically face them. Early on, they aren't really all that spectacular, but you'll notice here, I hit the shadow, but I didn't do any damage. Shadows have this sort of abilities that lets them avoid damage, and if they avoid the damage, then they don't take any damage. So he actually avoided that first blow. The second blow actually hit him, or did not hit him. No, it did not hit him. So we actually missed this, or do no damage to the shadow 2 times. Only on the 3rd time did I manage to actually do any damage on him. So this sort of shows you a little bit about how dangerous shadows can eventually be. Kill this guy. Now once you kill this guy, any shadows that he has will just pop away. They'll just disappear. And yeah, these elementals are going to keep spawning like there's no one's business to be here. This is why I don't like thunderstorms in this game. And yeah, that just popped up. Alright, going to do a rush. And it occurred. Hurricane! The target is the center of a lightning hurricane, doing significant lightning damage to itself and others around every turn. So I got dazed and he hit me with Hurricane. You're going to see the powerful effects of Hurricane in a moment. Boom. Boom. That's gonna happen every single damn turn. You can see how that racks up a lot of lightning damage if you aren't prepared for it. The lightning boss in particular is going to do a lot more damage than that as well. Alright, we got hit by lightning damage. You know what that means. There's another one of these guys around. And this guy popped up. Luckily he didn't manage to hurricane me that time. Do this. So yeah, it's just, you know, tons of these guys are just going to keep spawning. Ow. Just going to pick this up. Ow. Alright, good. We managed to get through this damn instance. Okay, I'm just going to vacate the instance. We're going to basically sell off my hard-gained loot from this area. It really was hard-gained. This instance, I didn't expect to have this much trouble with this instance. But it was partly because it had a thunderstorm, it had the boss, it had an escort, had that rare enemy, had the umbral horror. But luckily, we reached the end of the old forest, and I'm so damn glad that we did. Because you're going to be able to get to see what happens when we get to the Lake of Nur. So you know what, we're just going to cut the episode here, and I'll basically see you at the start of the next episode.